Hello everyone and welcome to a Q&A video. So I do have two people that submitted questions and I just saw that they submitted questions and I did not read them because I didn't want to have answers prepared. I wanted to actually sit and think and talk things through with you. So this was because I have hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed and has stuck around to watch the videos I put out. I apologize that the videos have been inconsistent throughout the month of October. We've had a lot of stuff going on with the house, with needing new carpeting, the water softener going out, with the sewage line bursting and having to have that done. And now we need to have the new carpet replaced again where the flooding entered the base of the stairs. And that will be replaced Friday, I think. The day before Halloween, basically, is when that will finally be replaced. So again, thank you so much for subscribing. I honestly never thought I would ever hit this number. So yeah, I think the next big milestone I'll aim for is 2,500. I think that would be good because that's halfway to 5,000. So I don't know, we'll see how things go. But for those of you who are new, hello, my name is Christine. I love to read. I love animals, particularly cats. Love cats. I do have two cats. They are somewhere in the house sleeping. It is their nap time. So two cats, Molly and Polly. I've teased my mom saying maybe I should go get another kitten and call her Dolly. So I'd have Molly, Polly, and Dolly. But if it happens at some point in the future, great. But as of right now, there is no Dolly. So just Molly and Polly. We also have a pug named Georgie. He is out for a walk. Should be back soon. My mom has taken him for a walk. And he is my mom's dog. But I enjoy him just as much as she does. But she gets the financial aspect bonus of owning a pet. So what else about me? I am now 41. I am autistic. I was diagnosed at age 36 and that just made a whole bunch of stuff finally make sense that I've been struggling with since childhood, with certain thoughts and feelings and sensory issues that I would never talk about because I never wanted to be a burden to anyone. So that finally made everything make sense. And I used to absolutely hate myself. Like I would harm myself. I did have some suicidal ideations. I still struggle with that on occasion. I did have, trigger warning, some suicidal attempts. And that's because of how much I absolutely despised and hated myself. The autism diagnosis finally helped me heal quite a bit, and I no longer hate myself. So I'm able to live a happier life now that things finally make sense. And actually this year in 2025, I was actually officially tested for and diagnosed with ADHD as well. I did this testing where I had to sit in front of this computer thing and they would say you'd have to touch the screen whenever it said the number 1 and my response time, and I think the whole thing was videoed as well. But anyway, it is confirmed I do have ADHD as well, and that makes a lot of stuff that I struggled with growing up in school make a lot more sense as well now. So, but now that I'm 41, I'm no longer in school. I could go back to college if I wanted to, but college is so expensive nowadays, and now that I'm on disability, I don't really see the point of it because I'm not going to have a job at this point anytime in my life. The disability is because of my back and other health issues that I have. I do suffer with chronic pain. I have arthritis in my back, degenerative bone disease. I have discs that are bulging. They are thinking that the spinal canal is starting to narrow and starting to pinch some of my nerves because I'm having issues with my legs. I will get random, sharp, very painful pain, and then right after that pain hits, my leg gives out for whichever leg it lands on. So, but they don't want to do anything yet. Basically, it's not bad enough to do anything for other than physical therapy, which I am doing physical therapy. but they don't want to do anything until the emergency things to watch out for is sudden loss of, like, you didn't know you had to go to the bathroom and then you pee your pants or you poop your pants. To watch out for that. Thankfully, none of that has ever happened. Or my legs give out so often to the point that I can no longer walk. So those are the warning signs. Then I have to go to the ER, and then they would do like an emergency surgery on that. So hopefully it never happens and it doesn't narrow anymore. So yeah, I was diagnosed with scoliosis when I was in 8th grade. So this is in the mid to late 1990s, and it progressively got worse to the point that the spine was going to start to curl around, and then it would start to gather and smush your internal organs. So they did a spinal fusion, and so because of that and because of my weight, I know it plays a part in it. It has created arthritis in my lower back. So I do have a spinal cord stimulator, which does constant electrical jolts. I do not feel those, but it helps to interrupt pain signals. And so it doesn't take the pain away, but it definitely makes it more manageable. Being on disability now, per my doctor's order, my primary doctor's orders, has made it so that I can be much more comfortable with life and have a more fulfilling life. With working 8-hour, I was working 10-hour shifts, so 40 hours a week, but 10-hour shifts. At the end of my shift, I was in so much pain. And then the next, like if I had a day off, I would be bedridden all day because the pain was so bad. So I got permission from my manager to go to 8-hour shifts. So I worked 5 8-hour shifts instead, and that helped for a little bit, but then it got to the point that it was just very debilitating again. The best thing for me that I notice on my days off is to sit in a chair or somewhere for an hour and then go and lay down for an hour, or go from one chair to a different chair and change positions, and things like that. So I like to sit in this recliner. Now I'm sitting on the floor with my back against the recliner, and I can sit comfortably here for about 30 minutes. But then I can sit in the recliner for about 30 minutes, but then I do need to lay down and stretch out my back. So being able to rotate like that has been game changing. Like I'm finally able to like put stuff in a crock pot and fix a dinner, which I wasn't able to before. I actually recently made in the crock pot this Caesar chicken pasta type thing. It's actually pretty good. Very simple to make. So I'm able to actually cook food now. So this has been a good change for me. So now my focus will be on YouTube, and I hope to have more consistent videos moving forward into November for the rest of the year and moving forward past that. So I thank you for sticking around. The other thing I will be focusing on is an Etsy shop. I have started an Etsy shop. I'll get a couple of visits now and then. No sales yet, which I don't expect any sales for quite a while. I don't have a lot of stuff on there yet. I have 3 scarves and 3 little mushroom amigurumi figurines. I am working on some dragons right now. And so those, as I make those, I'm making those as gifts for someone else. But I will take a picture and post the stuff on Etsy so that I can remake them if someone ever wants them in the future. So that's kind of how I'm doing things, is I'll find something to make for someone and then I'll take a picture and post that on Etsy. So that's my life right now. And anything else I can think of to tell you? It was confirmed. I did have one doctor say I have OCD, and then another doctor say, no, you don't. The person that I'm seeing now, the mind therapist, psychologist, whatever their correct title is, did confirm I actually do have OCD. I have 2 forms. One is I absolutely love counting, and I count all the freaking time. Does not mean I'm good at math by any means. I just love counting, and I think that's why I love crocheting, is with crocheting I am counting the stitches. And so for me, my OCD is in heaven with that. The other form of OCD is, he said it was aggression OCD, and that is where I basically have these all-consuming fears and obsessions with cooking food for other people. Now, cooking food for myself, perfectly fine. If I make myself sick, I make myself sick, fine. but I just have this all-consuming fear that I'm going to do something, either with cooking or not with cooking, that I am going to hurt someone in some way, and I don't want to hurt anyone. That's why I try not to cook for my mom at all. If she has some of my stuff, if I have it, and it's fine. But if she does have something that I do cook, until it's been like 2 or 3 days, I am racked with fear and guilt with these obsessive thoughts that she's going to get deathly ill from what I have fixed. Even though it didn't make me sick when I ate it, until it's gotten past 2 or 3 days, I am racked with this fear. So that is my OCD. Just lovely, isn't it? Anyway, as far as what I love to read all genres: romance, fantasy, contemporary, horror, thriller, mystery, and with books that are supposed to be dark, for me, the darker the better. So the more gruesome, no more gore and things like that, the better. I do not like animal death or torture, animals getting hurt in my books. But I understand that with horror, it's going to be in there for shock value. There's usually not a point for it. But I do not like reading about that stuff. But it's not going to turn me away from a book. So, yeah. And let's see, what else do I love to read? I'll read young adult, middle grade, and adult. I am picking up more and more adult as time goes on, and less middle grade and less young adult, but I still enjoy reading those age categories. And as far as genres, I'll read all kinds: nonfiction, science fiction, speculative. So yeah, historical fiction I will read as well. So I read all sorts. Now, let's get into the questions. I've got them here on my phone. So it says, it's spooky season. What are your top 5 thriller or horror novels that don't get as much hype? One of them, I will say, is the author Wendy Webb. I don't hear people talk about Wendy Webb. She writes these paranormal mystery thrillers / horror books. My first book I read from her was The End of Temperance Dare, and absolutely loved it. I do have some more Wendy Webb books that I do want to get to at some point, but I haven't picked them up yet. And partly because I'm nervous that I won't like them nearly as much as I liked The End of Temperance Dare, which would be fine. And I have read 2 other Wendy Webb books that I did not like as much as Wendy Webb, or as much as The End of Temperance Dare, but I still really liked them. So I would say anything by Wendy Webb. Let me pull up my Goodreads, and I'll kind of look to see what I've read. So that's one. And let's see. Who's not getting as much hype? Oh, here's one. Dan Wells, the author Dan Wells, has this series that I actually just found. I've never heard of this author before. The book that I read was I Am Not a Serial Killer. And so it's told from the perspective of a teenager who has the psychological traits, has the psychological traits to become a serial killer, and he does not want that. So he sets up his own rules to avoid that from ever happening in his life. So I would say I Am Not a Serial Killer. I would like more people to pick that up and get other people's opinions on that, because I had a good time with it. It was a high 3-star to a low 4-star for me. But again, I don't hear anyone talk about this author. Another one I would say is a middle grade. Now, the I Am Not a Serial Killer. Okay, so Wendy Webb is adult. Dan Wells is interesting. I picked this one up from the adult section in my library, but when I pull it up on Goodreads, it's listed as a young adult. So I'm not sure the exact age category. I think it's listed as young adult because of the age of the main character, but adult due to the content in the book. So Next up, I'm going to say is the author Ellen O. She has a series called Spirit Hunters. This one is a middle grade, and I don't hear anyone talking about this. I've never heard anyone mention Ellen O or the series Spirit Hunters. This one is a middle grade horror that deals with this preteen teenager that can see ghosts, has a ghost friend, and she is, I believe was it Korean, I believe, and or Vietnamese. I want to say Korean. Could be wrong, could be Vietnamese, but I think it's Korean. So they live in America, moved into this new house, and then strange things start to happen. I mean, she does see ghosts, she knows this, but no one wants to talk about it. Her grandma is wanting to encourage this, but her parents are like, no, especially her mother is like, no, not happening. And then possessions start to occur, and I love books with possession. So yeah, Ellen O, I'm gonna say especially her Spirit Hunters trilogy, and I do believe that is it. Another one that I actually just found that I thoroughly loved is the author Chuck Tingle. I have not heard anyone talk about Chuck Tingle. I read Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle, and let me actually pull up. So Camp Damascus was a horror thriller. He's got another book called Lucky Day. That one is, it's also horror. So yeah, so let's just go with the author, Chuck Tingle, particularly the book Camp Damascus. This one follows someone who is, what is she, 18 or 19? So it's a new adult. And she has some memory gaps. It's like she feels like she should be remembering something, but she struggles with that. Lives in a very small town, very religious. So it's a horror. You are going to have religious trauma in this. Particularly when you're reading, it gives a lot of cult vibes, and as it goes on, it is queer, it's LGBT. This church cult group is very much against LGBT, to the fact that they have conversion therapy camps, and people are sent there. You do have demons as well, and yeah, I would love more people to read that. Especially where you learn more about these conversion camps and how I always knew they were bad, but it just ingrained it more to know again that it was, these conversion camps are just really, really bad. So Chuck Tingle is one I would like more people to talk about. Now this one I have heard, so that's 4, right? Yeah, that's, let's see, Ellen O, Dan Wells, Wendy Webb, Chuck Tingle. So the 5th one I'm going to say I would like more people to talk about. I have heard a few people talk about this one, and this author is either a hit or a miss. I mean, that's going to be the case with any author, but I don't hear a lot of people. I hear some talk about, but not a lot, and I wish more people would talk about Cassandra Khaw. I have read Nothing But Black and Teeth by this author. There's one that was in the Hell's Bells series that I read that I liked. And the 3rd book that I read from this author is The Library at Hellbore. Very gruesome, and I had a great time with it. So I want more people to talk about Cassandra Khaw and her horror books. Nothing But Black and Teeth was a short story, so most of the talk that I hear about that is negative, which I can understand with it being, 1, a short story or a novella, and 2, it being in the horror genre. So, but I wish more people would read Cassandra Khaw. So I had a great time with it. She, I feel like, is not afraid to go there with the gore and the horror elements. So I greatly appreciate that, because if an author's gonna tease about going there, I want them to go there, not just tease. I want them to go there. So yeah, those are the 5 horror thriller books / authors, mostly authors, that I wish more people would read. And that question was by Candace Bentley 745 on YouTube. So let's see if Candace... Doesn't look like Candace puts any videos out because she's got view. Yeah, there's no videos. So thank you, Candace, for that great question. And the rest of these questions will be from Melodie's Book Nook. And let's see. Melodie does have a BookTube channel, so I will link Melodie's channel in the description box. She has 154 subscribers, and the most recent video was from an hour ago as of filming this video, which was Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman, spoiler-free review. Then before that one, she has This Winter by Alice Oseman, Heartstopper 4, recent library reads, etc. So she's got some stuff there. So I will link her channel in the description box. So again, that's Melodie from Melodie's Book Nook. And she has 4 questions here, so I will answer these ones. Question number 1, what is the best autism representation you have read in a book? You know, the one that comes to my mind immediately is Queens of Geek. Is that one because that's the first time I personally, and I read this either shortly after or shortly before I was diagnosed with autism. And it's the first time I actually personally related to a character. The main character, it is a young adult book. It does have LGBT rep, specifically female. And I want to say that one of them is actually bisexual in there. It's been a bit since I've read it. I want to reread it. So anyway, but the friend of that person is on the autism spectrum, and she talks about some of her fears, or fears that I have felt since as long as I can remember, with how people are perceiving you, as if you're, or if you are being, if you are understanding other people's words and intentions correctly. The other thing is, when it talks about stimming, it mentions that she would do things like bounce her leg, things that people wouldn't necessarily immediately flag as autistic stimming behavior. You know, things like twirling her hair, just a small group thing like that. And when she starts to feel too overwhelmed of needing to take a break and go to the bathroom to decompress, to the point where that she can start to handle the overstimulation or anxiety again. So for me, that is the one that always comes to my mind, and has the best representation for me because the stimming is small. I have read other books that have good representation as well, like books by Meg Kuyatt. The one book I read, I don't remember the name, but it was written in poem format, and dragons, like be a dragon, don't be a regular schmegular bird or whatever, but be a dragon. Don't be afraid to stand out. So that has had some good representation as well, but my mind just always goes back to Queens of Geek just because it made such a big impact for me. So number 2, do you watch parts of YouTube besides BookTube? Yes, I do. And I will link any channels I mention here for this portion of it in the description box so you can check them out as well. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel and to my subscriptions, and I'm going to tell you who I watch. So where is, oh, here we go. Okay, so some of my favorite ones to watch that are not BookTube is, there's one vlog channel that I watch. Now this person actually has 2 channels, and one is a vlog channel and one is not. And that is Alisha Marie and Alisha Marie Vlogs. That is the only daily influencer type vlog channel. She's the only one that I watch. I used to watch more, but I found myself getting into bad mental cycles watching other people, and for whatever reason I do not get into a bad mind space with Alisha Marie. I actually feel good watching Alisha Marie. The bad mind space with the other vloggers was I was comparing myself to them. I'm not as good enough because I didn't do the schooling, or I don't have a family, and things like that. So she is, I believe, about 10 years younger than me. She is in her 30s, and I thoroughly enjoy Alisha Marie's vlogs and any video that she puts out. So Alisha Marie is one I highly recommend, and I watch all those videos. I do have a couple of ambient videos that I like to put on when I'm reading. Ambient Worlds being one of them. They're more like either Harry Potter, like Hogsmeade, Hogwarts with music, classical music. There's one that's like Celtic Rain, or no, that's a different channel. There's been Star Wars, there's been Lord of the Rings, so they're more kind of like these bigger fandoms, and then they just put soothing music on top of it. So that's one of them. Another one is Aurora TV, or Aurora IV is what it is, and right now they have like a moody autumn one. So these are more kind of gothic, haunted coffee shop. So I have a handful. I'll list Aurora IV in the description box as well. All of them I'll list. This other person does have 2 channels as well, and that is Boze. Best of Body Cam with Boze. Oh, she's got a new video out from 2 hours ago. Cops confront teen for $2.5 thousand fraud, but her story feels different. And when Boze does the commentary on these videos, it's a lot of pointing out the traits of people that are tend to be narcissists and things like that, which I really appreciate. What is her other one? I'm blanking, but I can find it. Oh, Boze versus the World. So I'll list both of Boze's videos in the description box. Some other non-book ones. Let's see. Let me scroll. Suarez does a lot of anti-MLM. She has branched out into other stuff like calling out just bad, scummy behavior of other like influencers, mommy vloggers, things like that. And so she'll talk about those. I do like that. Chaz Kirschman, I like as well. Let's see. And he does the same type of thing, except his are more about what's called locale, which I'm still not 100% on what that is. He does more commentary on bad people that are putting out bad contents, like people that are like, hey, social child services is coming over to my house, and that basically how well that thinking means you're not the greatest mom that you think you are. So Chaz Kirschman I watch. Dan Kijabo is hilarious. I love Dan Kijabo. He's a recent find, and I have loved all of his commentary on stuff. He has a cat. I think it's a hairless cat, but it now has like a little bit of curly hair on it, named Prince. Love it when Prince makes an appearance. So if you like commentary channels on things like that, he did one about this gal from Scotland who faked a whole pregnancy and birth and everything. So he did a commentary video on that, and that was interesting. I love, let's see, another kind of elemental one is called, or like Ambient Worlds, and Aurora IV is the channel Elemental SoundWorks. Most recent video was 3 weeks ago called Dracula's Castle. And again, they're just soothing. EliaS, E-L-I-A, and then S like Sam, is the one that does Celtic. So it's Celtic music with rain, relaxing Celtic fantasy music, misty medieval villages by the river. So it's a lot of Celtic music with rain. And where I have Irish ancestry, I have really enjoyed listening to those videos. Let's see. Who else? There is a channel called I'm Autistic, Now What? And so she breaks down things like, are Gen Z and millennials actually appropriating autism? And so they are longer videos. They're around an hour. And so she'll go into her thoughts on those. The one before that was, are you autistic or are you just immature? If you think autism excuses this, you are unhinged. And then she breaks down the whole, I watched the entire autism Tylenol announcement with RFK Jr. Through that. So I do recommend her channel as well. Isabella. Isabella Lanter is another commentary channel, and she calls out scammy behavior. They are more on the shorter side, like closer to 30 minutes, 40 minutes on her videos. Like she did, calls out people that are wanting to like do this DIY Botox. These people that try to say, hey, I'm doing this lip filler at home, but they're not a licensed cosmetologist or whatever the person is that needs to be. But yet they're trying to sell you a course so you can do it at home as well, and how it's just really scammy behavior. So she calls a lot of that out, and she gets really entertaining to watch. So Isabella Lanter, highly recommend. Who else? True crime. I watch Kendall Ray, True Crime with Kendall Ray. I like that. What is this other one? Annie Elise, I think I missed. Yeah, Annie Elise is the other channel. She does true crime commentary as well, and I really like Annie Elise. I mean, there's some other channels, but I'm just telling you my favorite ones right now. Another one, person that puts up commentary that I'll never miss one that she puts up is the Kiki channel, Kiki, Kiki channel. Really like that. She does a lot on like how it seems, but there's a lot of, most recently it's been a lot of commentary on overconsumption with like the holidays, cottagecore. What's the most recent one? The most pretentious TikTok trend yet, which was about Christmas and it having to be Ralph Lauren, whatever it is, Christmas, where it's like it's a traditional Christmas. She talked about, it's called Disney Sucks Now, where you have all these people that are going and making these scenes at Disney parks, making it so it's not as an enjoyable place as it used to be. Let's see, who else? Is this one? Yes, another commentary one. Lucy Benson. See what actually matters in your 20s. Simple life advice. Being ugly in your head. 5 boring habits that made me happier, healthier, and richer. So I highly recommend watching her. And I'm going to be honest, Lucy Benson, to me, has a very beautiful and soothing voice. I really like her voice. Let's see. Who else do I recommend? Oh, another ambient, Nocturne Ethereal. Most recent one was 2 days ago, and it is the Chases something, the bath awakening in the middle of desolate fields or something, and it's an image of a scarecrow holding a lantern, so that's more gothic type atmosphere. So definitely recommend that one. Petal Palmer, another commentary channel where hers is mostly true medical stuff, crime and mystery, but it's been mostly medical stuff that I've seen. The most recent one was the surgeon who amputated things for a sexual kink. So that was really interesting. So I highly recommend Petal Palmer. She tends to do stuff like once every month or every 2 months. The one before that was They Didn't Believe Him Until It Was Too Late, The Cruel Case of Elliot. So it's a lot. The Woman Who Smoked Through a Hole in Her Neck was 3 months ago. So a lot of medical mystery cases. So highly recommend Petal Palmer. Her stuff is fascinating. Let's see. I think Repzilla, another one. He's like the Chaz Kirschman, and actually found Repzilla before I found Chaz. But I really like Repzilla. His commentary is great, and he does a lot of the term locale, and calling them out for their crappy behavior. Let's see, anyone else? Oh, Social Symone. She has a great one, and it's more financial advice and calling out bad financial decisions, like with the buy now, pay later that people are doing with DoorDash, things like that. And how some things are just literally scams and are not good financial stuff. And she always ends it with, in order to have a better today or a better tomorrow, we need to make better decisions today, or something along those lines. So if you want good financial commentary, Social Symone is a great one to watch. And let me see, there's one more. I just want to make sure. Yes. The last one I will say also has 2, and she is another commentary one. I guess I really like commentary channels, especially where they call out scammy, like MLM, or just people not being the greatest. And this is Swoop, SWOOP. The second channel is Swoop 2. Really enjoy those. Swoop is another one that I will never miss an upload from them. Like, I am tempted to go back and watch old videos. That's how much I like Swoop and Swoop 2. So it's the same person, and she does these things, like she has a shop that's calls the Valid Ribcage Collection or something like that, basically reaffirming that you are worth it. You know, especially, if you're having like suicidal ideations and thoughts and stuff, that you are worth it. The world is better with you, type of a thing. And I love how she talks about stuff and brings up certain points. So Swoop 2. Okay. Moving on. So I'll link all of those channels in the description box so you can go and check them out if you have never heard of them before. So that was number 2. Number 3, who's an underrated or smaller author you'd like to shout out? It's the ones I talked about before, kind of horror thriller. Let me go back to Goodreads and see maybe who's not horror related. Cecelia Edward. I just finished a book by Cecelia Edward called An Ancient Witch's Guide to Modern Dating. Just read that book, and that's a debut. So Cecelia Edward, An Ancient Witch's Guide to Modern Dating. Another, I think this one's a debut. I could be wrong. Yeah, another debut author that I just read was Mallory Arnold. I just read How to Survive a Horror Story. It gives the And Then There Were None vibes, so it's kind of like a more modern and definitely more horror aspect of that. So if you've read that, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie and enjoyed it, maybe you would like How to Survive a Horror Story by Mallory Arnold. Self-published, I've been enjoying, as far as romance, it does get spicy, is the author Michele Mills. I've been reading what is the name of the series? The most recent one I've read is Twins for the Wild Orc, so they're monster romances. Sweet Monster Treats is the series. Let's see, who else do I want to... As far as romance goes, I don't hear a lot of people talk about Willow Winters. She is self-published, and so I would love more people to talk about Willow Winters if you like spicy romance. And it's not loading everything. Like, it's just white pages now, so I'll just stick with that. So, yeah, so there's some smaller ones, or self-published authors, or authors with debut books that I would like to shout out. So, moving on, and the last question is, what's a book you love that you feel a lot of people don't like? I don't know how to answer that one. Probably more Cassandra Khaw. Like Nothing But Black and Teeth. I hear nothing but negative stuff about that, but I really enjoyed it. That's the only one that comes to my mind. Because I know that there's going to be books that I love or I like that people don't. And vice versa. There's going to be books that I don't care for that other people absolutely love. So, but yeah, that's kind of all that comes to my mind. And that is it. So thank you to the questions and to the 2 individuals that submitted questions. If you ever have any other questions you would like me to answer, definitely drop them in the description box of this video or any video moving forward. And if I see that question when I do a video, whether it's a haul or wrap up or whatever, I can answer that question in an upcoming video as well. If you think of anything, then we can definitely do that. So yeah, again, thank you for helping me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate you all for sticking around and supporting my channel. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, whenever you're watching this, and have some wonderful reads ahead. And I hope you are enjoying what you're reading now. If you're not enjoying it, I am sorry. And I hope your next read is absolutely wonderful. So talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.